Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I hope all is good with you. So today what I thought we'd do is another pick a card, and this question we're going to do all to do with your aura. So just a really quick thing about auras, and I'll leave a blog post, a link to a blog post that I did ages ago on this, but essentially really an aura is, I think it's like a diagnostic tool if you're psychic. It's something where basically your aura is not always going to be the same color. I think that's one really important thing to just be mindful of, and it's something that will change, it will fluctuate, and it will represent what's currently going off with you now, what happened in the most recent past, and what is potentially most likely to happen in your most recent future. It's got that kind of feel to it, because essentially it's showing you the set point of where you're vibrating at. And obviously different colors mean different things, not just associated with chakras, but just different things in general anyway. I think it's always good to be pretty open-minded, to be honest, with a lot of psychic stuff. Like, yes, there's certain patterns and formulas that they fall into, but also psychic stuff works with the total abstract, with the total non-linear. And so in the same way, if you get the feeling somebody has a blue aura, but it might have nothing to do with anything associated with the chakra, the fifth chakra, which is blue. Do you know what I mean? I think always just go with what you feel. That's really important. So anyway, yeah, the aura is very much like a diagnostic tool. These colours will change, they'll shift around. And also, whether you realise it or not, we're all communicating through our auras to each other on a very unconscious, subconscious way. If you sometimes get a feeling about somebody like, oh, you feel like, it's not even like the feeling of they might be angry or they might be happy or they might be sad. You might just have a feeling that, oh, I just get a feeling somebody's got this going off in their life right now, or I just get a feeling that I shouldn't mention this to this person right now, or I just get a feeling that I should just mention this to this person right now. All of those kind of feelings that you're getting, it's because you are unconsciously reading into the aura of the other person, and that person's aura is basically almost like a signpost of really how you can interact with them, or what's the best way to interact with them. And you know, even sometimes when you say something to somebody and you think, oh my god, that's so weird, I would never usually say that to anybody. Again, this could be because of the frequency of that person's aura, which is encouraging that type of communication to come out, because it best serves that person with that aura at that moment in time, and you sort of unconsciously agree to it. So it's really kind of interesting, the aura. Anyway, without going on anymore, let's go straight into the question. And so the question is, what does your aura look like right now, and what does this mean regarding your past, present, and most recent coming up future? So let's just go straight into it. I'm doing 3 piles. Essentially, the way that I've kind of decided I'm going to try and do this channel now, I'm kind of trying to be a bit more consistent, is I'll do Sunday evening will hopefully be the reading where I go in depth. I'll channel, we'll go really deep into it. And then maybe something like Tuesday, I will do a pick a card through the Akashic Records, but over like a shorter topic. Like last time I did support, and it was more like there was 5 piles to choose from, and there were shorter readings, no channeling. So there'll be something like that on Tuesday. And then when I seriously get my act into gear, something like Thursday, I'm hoping to get out basically like a guided shamanic type of journey type of thing. So it's kind of like meditation, but I'd say it's a bit more yeah, I want to say like psychedelic. It's where you're going to go into different states of consciousness so you can start retrieving information, and I suppose really kind of flexing your own psychic muscles and abilities. So that's hopefully the way it's going to go. So anyway, let's go straight into this. So is your message in pile number 1? Is your message in pile number 2? Or is your message in pile number 3? Okay, so just obviously go intuitively with your first response. It's always the best one, but obviously if it doesn't resonate, just choose another pile. But we will go straight on to pile number 1. So hey there, this is everybody that chose message number 1. It's holding the information for, well, basically what your aura looks like right now, and what does this mean about your past, present, and future. So just give me a moment just while I feel into this. Okay. Okay, so even before I feel this pile or see this pile's like aura, the first thing I do is I really freaking feel it. I feel like he's super, super activated solar plexus chakra at the moment. But interestingly, I'm really aware that your aura isn't yellow, even though the solar plexus chakra is. Just give me 1 second. What am I seeing? Okay, so you kind of currently have, like, you have kind of like a purple energy. You do have it around the head, the top half of the head, and then around the edges of that and the sides of the head, you've got really quite a turquoise but deep blue. And then going all the way down from kind of like the mouth downwards, you've actually got really kind of like a nice sort of pinky sort of colour, pinky kind of purpley, but you know, the pinky purple colour. And I'm getting the feeling as well that I would see it slightly differently, whether you have more masculine energy or feminine energy. If you've got more masculine energy, remember that doesn't necessarily mean you're a man, it just means that at this moment in time you're activating more of the masculine qualities, then actually that sort of purpley pinky colour that then goes the whole way down from your mouth kind of to the floor is more of a purpley pink. Whereas if you've got currently more of a feminine energy going on with you at the moment, that's kind of more of a pale sort of baby pink colour. And then interestingly, your feet are really, really distinctive. You've kind of got like, it looks like socks around your feet, but they are actually black socks. So it's kind of like a black kind of like colour around your feet and halfway down your shins. Oh, and then one more thing that I would see, and this is kind of like a little bit more specific than an aura because it's not just colours, but I can literally see like this gold star in your forehead. And I suppose that's just more of a psychic thing rather than even just your aura. But essentially that's instantly what I see when I look at your auras. And like I say, it would depend slightly depending on whether you are playing with more of your masculine energy right now or your feminine energy right now. And also what my spirit guides are just saying is that gold star in the front of your head might be silver if you're activating more of your feminine energy right now. So it depends. So you guys, there's a little bit of a difference between what's going on. But equally as well, what's really, really coming out is a really predominant solar plexus type of energy. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so one of the things that I'm really getting that's currently being activated in you. Okay, so in the past, how your aura is presenting is, in the past, I do feel like you were put in a situation that did a number of things to feel into what is right for you. It drained your energy, it drained your power, or it was a very kind of, something was very, very domineering and took a lot of your energy. I also feel like what then went on, depending on honestly your energies, because you're all different, in the past you either felt resentful of this, pissed off of this, or some of you might have felt like a victim to it in some ways. And also some of you might have even like took on a type of a martyr type of role by kind of sacrificing your energy for something outside of you that never really gave you the equal amount of energy back. It kind of feels like that's where was going on, like in the past type of energy, that's still kind of in your energy field. Although what I'm being shown now is in the present now, it's really, really like, I'm hearing this thing of like gaining control of the situation, feeling empowered, and if you're not feeling like this right now, I can feel like this sort of energy is coming into you definitely, because now it kind of feels like the solar plexus energy to do with personal power was massively drained in the past. And like I say, depending on what happened in your personality, it depended on how you reacted to that. But either way, it wasn't something that made you feel particularly great. You didn't feel great about this. Now it feels like in the present, you're getting into a place where you're starting to get back your own balance. So you're starting to gain back equilibrium within your own life. So wherever your energy was drained or taken, or where you freely gave it away, but it didn't really come back in equal amounts or in a satisfying, life-enhancing way, that's now balancing itself up again. And it feels like you're in the process of balancing up how you are distributing your energy, your actions, and your time in life. And I feel like it's going through a bit of I'm sort of hearing transformation, but it's not really transformation. I'm being shown a bat. I'm being shown like it's like you're going through, seeing something through a new perspective. So you know how bats can be upside down? like when they're just pausing and while they're collecting their energy. I feel like you're in a state of almost rebalancing your energy, seeing something from a new perspective, but I kind of also feel like there's a bit more of a pause. If there was kind of a bit of manicness in the past about something, or a lot was going on, even if it was in your own mind or your own emotions, or if it literally was something physical in your life, that's now starting to calm down as you kind of like look to me like almost like the hanged man position, seeing something in a new light, seeing something from another perspective, and now it's in the process of integrating. And this is also why I'm seeing lots of purple, I'm hearing, around the top part of your head, because I feel like you're getting quite a lot of ideas and help from the spiritual realms, whether you're aware of it or not. And that's also as well why I saw like the star, I'm being told, the gold or silver star on your forehead, because again, you're getting lots of intuitive downloads about things. So I'm hearing that it's really, really important that you kind of listen to that and you really, really pay attention to those kind of subtle things that are going on. Also, for some of you, again, your dreams might be, pay attention to your dreams. I don't know what's happening in your dream time because it's different for all of you, but I'm being told it's really important to pay attention, because this is as well where you're getting either subtle messages or you're really starting to know how you're really feeling about something or thinking about something on a much more deeper, subconscious, unconscious level. And it's really, really important to pay attention to that. Again, then what I'm kind of seeing as well, like, this whole kind of thing of, I don't know, it's like just give me 1 second. It does feel as well like, you know how I saw like the kind of the black sort of socks around your feet energetically, it does actually feel like there's still some energy for you to release from this past energy to do with where there's been a power imbalance, or where you've been giving your energy a lot to something and it's not really been giving it back to you in a healthy or in an equal proportioned way. And it kind of feels like, but I can see that you come into the close of that as well, because often what I'll see is, or one thing I've kind of known energetically for a long time, my spirit guides told me, was that like I've always seen it if I ever did Reiki or, to be honest, shamanic stuff, or to be honest, even when I've been doing chiropractic, I've just always known this is a way. And if ever I've even had pain in my body, I know this is a way. You kind of see heavy, dark energy coming down your legs, and then it starts to come out of the soles of your feet, and the earth kind of draws it out of you, almost like a magnet, and that helps to purify you and almost detox you. And it can detox you from pain, it can detox you from heavy emotions, mental, restrictive mental patterns, anything really. Even karma, when karma's coming out of somebody, like it really can be sort of like drawn magnetically out of the feet when the time is right. And because I'm kind of seeing that going off in your energy field, I can see that there's still that process of kind of like releasing and cleansing a little bit. So actually, if you wanted to speed up that process, you could do this visualizing in your own meditation or whatever, which is just where you see basically dark, heavy energy coming out of the soles of your feet into the earth. And the earth, known as like Pachamama in shamanic traditions, she loves it because she takes it like manure and she turns it into something that can be fruitful in another area of life for someone, something else. So it's like really recycling kind of energy in that type of way. Don't even know if recycling is a word, but that's what I'm saying. Dyslexic remix, I just love them. But anyway, so that's totally what I'm getting with the energy field there. Now, before I get stuck in channeling, because it can so easily happen, let's start to get some cards out. I'm going to start with your tarot. Let's see what more info we get about your aura. So, what's happening? Let's see. Yeah, I'm being shown a symbol of a rainbow now as well. So I definitely feel like your aura is, it's balancing and it's integrating, and it's definitely showing that actually much more peaceful, enjoyable times are on the horizon for people that chose this pile. It does feel as well like it's like I keep getting like rebirthing, rejuvenating, and so I'm also wondering if certain situations, people or scenarios might be coming back into your life in a certain way for you to then play it out in a different kind of pattern. It's kind of like doing something old in a new way. I'm getting that kind of energy that's coming through, and I'm being shown that that's very much like this bat energy as well, and this hanged man energy, seeing something in a new perspective, seeing something in a new light, and therefore playing it out in a slightly different way. Now, I'm hearing that we do read reversals in this, but reversals, I'm being told instantly, is basically like the hanged man bat thing. It's whatever the card does, we're going to be seeing it in a new light. Okay, so let's see what we get. So we have, I love these cards, by the way, they're so nice. So this is King of Pentacles. This is Seven of Cups in reverse. Okay, so we're definitely seeing something that we've been emotionally confused about in the past. And I think this is very much to do with where you've been putting energy into something, or where something has been pulling a lot of your energy, whether you wanted it or not. You are generally seeing this in a new light, and that's really what I could feel in your aura too. Okay, then we have Seven of Swords. I find this Seven of Swords so interesting because it's actually called Many Tongues. Again, this does really feel to me like, I know the word toxic gets like whacked around a lot at the moment. It's kind of, I think, sometimes quite a buzzword in like our culture or whatever. But I am definitely getting it's that kind of something or someone or a situation that's been around you that essentially, whether it's toxic or not, I'm being heard is not really relevant. It's the fact that how you handled it felt toxic to you, and that's where this whole kind of new perspective is coming in on, I'm seeing. But let's just pull some more before I turn them all around. Oh wow, and then we have Ten of Wind, the Way of the Cross. Really interesting as well. I'm seeing a vision more of like, and I know this sounds quite full on, actually no, it doesn't matter, actually I won't say that because I don't know. Anyway, then we have here, oh wow, the Knight of Coins. Okay, so also Neo. And I just really felt guided to, in this deck, it just has like certain cards, just with all like, obviously, people like this from the cinema. And I was just told to just draw one out because it's going to give a really good emphasis for where the person is going to in the future with their aura. So as well with this, this again makes me really feel this whole seeing something in a completely new light, and something that has been draining your energy, or that does drain a lot of people's energy, you then basically break out of that system, you break out of those chains, and therefore suddenly you're able to control and manipulate your own reality in a way that you hadn't been able to do before. And I'm getting that why this is coming into you is it's because you have gone through almost like a journey of integrating your personal power. But by integrating your personal power, at first you lost your personal power to then have to regain it. And I'm being told it's a little bit like Neo, I think it's Neo, in the Matrix, how he obviously has to literally go through that death and rebirth, how he literally goes through a complete and utter change of perspective with how life works. And as he goes through that new perspective, at first it's obviously incredibly full on and hardcore, but I keep just seeing the image in the Matrix where, you know, when he's being trained how to fight within the space of like, I don't know, with what's the other guy called? You know, the guy that offers him the red pill and the blue pill in the beginning. Morpheus, that's it. He's learning how to fight in the Matrix with Morpheus. It kind of feels like you're going through that sort of space at the moment, but not that it's so much fighting, but it's just that it's understanding how to use your own abilities, your skills, your strengths and your weaknesses, and actually work with them in a completely different way this time, so that actually opportunities and possibilities open up in a way that you'd never seen before. But also I'm being shown a bit where, because you know how obviously Neo learns that you can fight in a way that you could never actually fight like that in how we see 3D reality. But once he's out of the Matrix and he sees it in a different way, he then also is able to manipulate how his body moves within the Matrix. So he's either a lot faster, or he can run at walls, or whatever it might be. But I'm also being told like there will still be a few kind of teething processes where maybe you kind of like, you do something, you kind of do something, and I'm being shown this is to do with the blue colour that I said that I saw at the top of the head and around the sides of your head, like that bluey turquoisey colour. sometimes you're going to have to take a leap of faith with some things, and it won't initially work out first time. Like when Neo goes to run and jump from one building to the next, and he really believes he can do it, and he runs up to do it, and then he doesn't just quite make it. I'm hearing that that will happen a little bit on this process of the integration of your solar plexus, but that is exactly how it's supposed to be. So do not see any of that as a failure or it didn't go how you wanted. It's going exactly how you want. It's part of the process of you learning how to use your power in whatever way that you want to, so you actually become more confident in whatever area of this life this is to do with. I'm hearing as well that for some of you this is to do with a work thing and a money thing, but also obviously for some of you this is to do with relationship and vulnerability and intimacy and that type of thing. But I'm also really being told as well that a bit like Neo, there's amazingly supportive people around you right now, like Morpheus. Like you've actually attracted in your soul tribe. So the people that are around you at the moment, or the people that you are thinking that you need to be interact with more at the moment, this is a confirmation that these people really are, they are part of your soul tribe, and they're here to help you overcome false perceptions of inadequacy is what I'm hearing. False perceptions of inadequacy. And in doing so, again, you're going to be completely, I guess it's this thing here as well, right, with the Ten of Wind. Obviously, sometimes you can see this picture as somebody that's got loads of swords in the back, but then you see a new dawn coming. I really do feel like it is. It's these, any sort of limiting beliefs you've had about, and it's such a specific word I'm getting, inadequacies. These are things that are soon going to be, they're no longer going to be part of your reality. And as you let go of those feelings of feeling inadequate or not worthy in some way or another, this is when you get almost like up to a whole other level of being able to create your reality in the way that you want, whether it is in relationships, whether it is in work, whether it's money, whether it's life purpose, whatever it is, or health, whatever it might be. It's like you're going to be going through this kind of like upgrade. And so interestingly, I'm really being shown as well now that this card is very much the Seven of Swords. I wondered if this was something to do with somebody in your reality, right? That could be decepting or whatever. But clearly it's not, because we're being told that you've just got a lot of soul tribe around you right now to support you. And really the only deception you've got to watch is the way you have been deceiving yourself about what you think are your inadequacies. But this is a completely, I'm hearing the word bogus perspective. This is not a true reflection of who you are or even what your reality is. It really is kind of like, it is that fear thing. What is that? A false expectation appearing real, but it's completely not true. And really your aura is currently in this place of, like I say, like breaking through from, I don't know, things that you've believed about yourself and you've believed about your life, which actually they are not true. They're completely outdated, and it's something that you will be having a complete rebirth over. You're starting to see all of this in a completely different way, in a completely different perspective. And I do think whatever this is, I feel like it's something where I feel like you spent a lot of time either thinking about it or feeling about it in the past. Like it's taken up a lot of your time, a lot of your introspection is what I'm hearing. You've spent almost like investing in this belief system about in some way that you're inadequate, or in some way how something won't happen for you. Like I say, whether it's a loving relationship, or whether it's having more money, or if it's having the perfect job, whatever it is, it kind of feels like that sort of energy has been going off. But actually, again, I'm being shown that this is, in your aura, when I said from the mouth downwards, kind of to the floor, I saw all of this kind of like pinky purple colour. I'm hearing what that is all about, because you're kind of having a complete integration of almost like compassionate, loving, supportive energy into all of your chakras, all the way from literally the throat downwards, all the way to the Earth Star chakra. And it's just happening. I'm hearing as well that this can't be rushed though. It's happening at its own pace. A bit like Neo in the Matrix. It wasn't like he could just suddenly take the red pill or whatever pill it was. I think it was the red one. He couldn't just take the pill and then suddenly he could know everything, do everything, and that was it. It was all done. After he made his choice to take the pill, there was then the process of initiating into that new reality, which is then the reality that aligns with these new belief systems that this pill is opening his mind up to. And it kind of feels like that's something about where you're at with whatever is currently going off in your life. And like I say, it's very, very much something where you're just tired of the old way, basically. You are tired of the mundaneness, of the routine, of the staticness, of whatever this perception is that you've had about yourself, which makes you feel inadequate and not worthy, and therefore stops you taking actions or communicating or just doing what it is that you really wanted to do if you listen to your heart. It kind of feels like that, like you've just had enough of it, and that you no longer want to be living your life through kind of like that restrictive limitation that you have put on yourself, which is completely not true. So like I say, really feel into what you feel like this inadequacy might be, because I really can see that this is something that your aura is massively working with changing currently at this moment in time. But now, anyway, let me just get some oracle. I feel like this came through pretty quick as well for some reason. Being shown that we do this in a line here. So it kind of really feels like, it feels like something that you're very much on the process with, and you've been going through this for a while. And again, that just confirms it with me just seeing like that, the kind of black energy at the bottom of your feet being so low down on your body, because you've already going through quite a process of releasing it and cleansing it. And I can just really feel as well, like there is so much support around you, believe it or not, right now, like very kind of like compassionate kind of support, because with all of that pink purple energy over the majority of your body, I do think for those of you that have predominantly more masculine energy at this moment in time, where that kind of pinky purple colour is more purple, I think a lot of the support actually might be coming through very much more in a kind of spiritual kind of way, believe it or not. Like in a much more spiritual, like your spirit guide's trying to talk to you, or you just kind of, your intuition's really on right now. So if you feel like you've got more masculine energy currently, just your intuition is really, really powerful. For those of you that have got more feminine energy currently, that's where your aura is just a little bit more pink rather than purple all the way down the body. I really feel like you literally physically have a lot of people in your life right now supporting you. And there's lots of supportive physical things coming in to literally, I want to say, take care of you. I feel like there's lots of that going off with you currently. And so I think it's really important, if you know that that's you, for you to really be open and receptive to that type of energy. And I think it's important for you to trust and feel safe with it. So yeah, so take whatever resonates for you, depending on where your energy is currently at, or what sort of personality type you know that you have. And actually, you'll probably know whether you're more masculine energy right now or feminine energy right now, depending on which one you resonated most with, in terms of which you recognise as happening most in your life right now. Whether you're having lots more intuitive kind of sensations and thoughts and feelings, or if you're having lots more actual physical representations of support around you, as in people, situations, etc. Okay, so let's see. What's the first one we have? Moon tree. Again, that just instantly makes me think about this intuition. But it just also really make me feel, again, this full moon energy I'm getting. This almost like it's so close to coming to a completion of a cycle for you guys, to do with your own personal power, for you feeling worthy, for you feeling good enough, for you releasing any false expectations of those inadequacies. Oh, wow, now we have divine masculine. So you know what, actually, let me just leave that one right now, because I'm getting a few messages with that. I'm going to pull some extra cards. And we have expansion. That's kind of interesting. We have that shape, that star shape twice. That looks very masculine energy. This looks much more feminine energy when they're side by side. This looks way more physical, like your physical chakras, the lower chakras with the red, the orange and the yellows. This looks way more higher chakras with kind of like the blues, the purples, the pinks, etc. Then we have here, nice, everybody loves to see a card like this, Union. And then we have here, it says here, the weight of the world. And then it says boundaries, let it go, it's not yours to carry. I mean, that is exactly what I was picking up from the very beginning when I channeled into what was going off with your aura. This whole kind of thing of like where I feel like your energy has been drained, or you've put a lot of energy into something, or somebody's required a lot of energy from you and there's not been an equal exchange. That completely makes me think about that. And that as well, the weight of the world, let it go, it's not yours to carry. This is this thing that I really can see that your aura is doing, because it's like rebalancing its own personal power, like we mentioned all in the beginning. But now just give me a second just while I completely feel into all of this. So let's see. I mean, I definitely do feel like with these cards here, with the Divine Masculine, the Expansion and the Union, I'm really, really getting this feeling of very much like, again, a balancing up. It just really feels like a balancing up of opposites. And it kind of makes me feel like you're partly doing that within your own consciousness. So you're partly, I think, getting a lot more healthy expression to do with working with your own masculine and feminine energies. So essentially to do with knowing when to take control and when to surrender, to do with when for being assertive and when for being passive, to do with when to be trusting and when to be kind of like mindful and savvy. I kind of feel like there's a lot of that kind of going off, and I do really think a lot of this is happening because of what's happened in the past, to do with where a lot of energy has been kind of taken from you or drained your resources in some way, or a situation or a person's taken up a lot of your energy, and then you actually realise that it wasn't really, on retrospect, you've invested in something in whatever way that might be, time, energy, money, love, that actually wasn't, almost like wasn't what you thought it was, is what I'm getting. And again, that's kind of flicking back to this whole kind of like Neon and the Matrix, because obviously in the beginning of the Matrix, he is investing all of his energy in that kind of physical reality that, you know, goes to work, has the job, wears the suit, goes to a club, all of this sort of stuff, and is completely in denial about his unique special abilities and what he's here to do, let's say. And so he's investing all his life in that until he suddenly gets like the wake-up call, the shock call from Morpheus, and like, hey, look, this isn't what's going on. This is what's really going on. Now, what do you want to do? Do you want to invest in the past, which you now know isn't what you thought it was? Or do you want to invest in this new future, which does come with uncertainty, which will absolutely push you? But the thing is, it's going to be, you will never feel as amazing as what you could do in this future that's available to you if you basically take this other pill, if you start investing in this new way of being. I really, really can just really feel that. In fact, to be honest, it's really quite powerful. Like, I'm really getting that some of you guys that have chosen this message, you really are in a place of I mean, I just think this, to be honest, right now, the Matrix, and obviously at the time that I'm recording this message, but bearing in mind it is completely and utterly timeless, but at the time I'm doing this message, obviously in the early parts of 2021, could it be any more like, which reality are you investing in? Where are you investing? Like, who is telling what? Who's right? Who's wrong? Like, I don't know. There's just so much, I think, of like the Matrix type of vibe. Like, which part of reality are you investing in? Are you believing in what an institution is telling you, or are you kind of believing in this other kind of like a bit more out there way of seeing something, but like Morpheus and his tribe, etc. So I just can feel like there is a lot going off for you guys, and like I say, I could really see like it's quite, I think it's got something to do with that gold and silver star as well that I was seeing in the beginning of your forehead. It really does feel like there's this really important kind of, almost like destined kind of like life purpose thing drawing you in at the moment, particularly because, again, that reminds me of Neo in the Matrix, you know, like how he's got this bigger destiny, as it were. And now I'm being told as well that also, depending on whether you have the silver star in front of your head or the gold star in front of your head, in fact, just take a little moment now and intuitively feel into, do you have a gold star or a silver star in front of your forehead? And if you don't see anything, just see which one you just kind of feel like you resonate more with when I say this. The gold star, the silver star. Totally trust what you get there, because essentially if you are the gold star person, then I really do feel like this has got a lot to do with work, money, business, creating something very much. If it's more like the silver star, then I really feel like this has got something way more to do with like relationship, partnership, intimacy, the lovers, that type of energy. So yeah, have a feel into that and see what you get with that. But that's really, really what I kind of see as well with all of this, to be honest. It's really cool. Now let me just see, is there anything else that your aura wants me to say, show you? Just give me a minute. Let me see. I'm just really getting this thing where, you know, that what's coming in the future is, if you carry on this pathway, if you know, choose to invest your time, money, energy, love, whatever it might be, in this new pathway that feels a bit scary, that feels a bit unfamiliar, that feels a bit unknown, I am really, really showing that. I mean, I can just feel like sunlight coming all the way down onto my head. It feels friggin' amazing. I really, really am getting the feeling that you really, really are going to be going into a future that gives you, that just brings you just so much joy, connection and happiness. And now, you know what I'm seeing? I'm being shown a flick from the Matrix. I think it's maybe the Matrix 2. You know when Neo is part of the tribe or whatever, and they live underground or whatever, and then suddenly have this party, don't they, where they're all really, really dancing, having tribal dancing, and then Neo and Trinity are obviously having sex, and it's just, everything's amazing and it's heightened and it's just so connective and electric. I kind of feel that sort of energy that's like coming. Blend that though with, I'm also seeing a vision of kind of like the sunlight and beaches and cocktails and just some sort of, I suppose, pleasure. I suppose essentially what I'm really seeing into the future is like pleasure and connection in whatever way that makes sense to you. But again, I do just want to stress that it's not necessarily like, your aura is also letting me know that it's also, it's like there's still some work to be done in terms of you processing this, because it's that blue that I keep seeing, the turquoise blue that I see around the top of your head and particularly around both of your ears and the side of your head. I just feel like there's maybe still some things that you haven't quite heard, or there's still something that you're going to hear that's going to help you with this choice, or that will help you really let go of whatever insecurities that you've had to do with whatever is stopping you moving forward with whatever it is that you're wanting to create right now. It's that kind of feeling that I'm getting. Yeah. But anyway, I think that's pretty much all I'm going to say for this pile right now. So I hope you enjoyed that reading. I really enjoyed it. I was really interested to see who was going to come out for you guys. So cool. I hope that resonated with you, and yeah, just let me know. And also, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, comment, share, do whatever all of that stuff is, because that would be awesome, because I'm really trying to grow my channel now. I'm really trying to be consistent. So yeah, I'd super appreciate that. Also, if you would like a private reading with me, so you can find those on my website on abigailgracepsychic.com. I obviously do Akashic Record readings. I do all sorts of astrology readings, and then I do lots of different card readings. And the ones that are up there are obviously love readings, money readings, but there's also a custom reading where you just basically tell me what you want. And obviously we can do anything, past lives, future lives, ancestral, mediumship, I don't know, just the whole shebang, whatever it is that you need or want. because I think need and want are equally important. And then and also there's my other YouTube channel, See It Like a Psychic. I will start posting on there. I'm really hoping in May. I just need to get just a little bit more of myself together because I went a little bit off piste in a little bit of a bad way last year. Made some decisions that were, you know, creative, didn't quite work out, but that's all good. But now I'm just about getting back on track. So hopefully in May I'll be doing those videos again. And then you can also find me on social medias, always Abigail Grace Psychic. And I'll try and leave the link on Facebook and Instagram and this other one that I'm on for the aura blog post, because it just tells you a bit more about how your aura works, so you might find that useful. Now, do I need to say anything else? I think that's all for this time. So yeah, cool. I hope to see you guys again and speak to you soon. Bye. So hi guys, this is for everybody that chose message number 2 for basically what does your aura look like right now and what does this mean about your past, present and near future. So just give me a moment just while I feel into this. So currently I can see and I can feel like your aura is being held like reasonably close to your body. And it does feel like I'm hearing the word preparation. I'm hearing something about your aura is giving off the vibe that you're preparing for something or that you're soon to be preparing for something. It feels, again, I'm seeing loads of blue. I am seeing loads and loads of blue. And specifically, I'm seeing blue kind of, I'm being shown it as almost like a stripe, a line, the whole way down your body, down the front, and then that same blue stripe the whole way down your body, down the back. And it's very, very specific, and it's very, very organised, and it's very kind of almost like regimented is what I'm hearing. I've really unusual. Just give me a minute because I've not actually seen this before, so just give me a sec. What is this about? Okay, so I'm just going to say it as it's all coming out. I think this is the best way to work this. I'm kind of seeing like this kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like this real connection from the past, the present and the future that is occurring right now. And I'm actually being told it's actually bigger than this lifetime. It's a past life coming in with your present life, coming in with a future life. And that's what this very distinctive blue line is down the back and the front of your body. And I'm also being shown it's like something, it's trying to say to me something like the meridians of the body. There's something like these like main channels, one that goes down the front of the body and one that goes down the back of the body. And again, I think these are very much seen as like one is masculine type of energy, like yang energy, and one is very kind of feminine energy, kind of yin energy around the back. But it feels like there's this total balancing energy that's kind of going off right now. And this really does, I'm really getting strongly that this is really very much like a relationship type of thing that's playing out right now. So whether this is a friendship, family member, colleague, employer, or actual kind of romantic relationship, and I'm getting strongly for a lot of you, it's more of a romantic relationship. Even if some of you are not in a relationship right now, I feel like what is going off with you in your aura is that thing preparing. You know how I got prepare in the beginning? It's like preparation of something to be coming, either somebody coming into your life or somebody returning into your life, because obviously it's different for both of you. And like all of these channels are activated. It absolutely feels like whoever is this person, they are related to a past life, this life now, and a future life. And I'm really getting like there's been it's interesting because this is very much around communicating as well. It's very, very much about communicating, but it's really interesting because it's very much, it's showing me that this communication is occurring on a soul level as well as a human level. So even if you haven't been communicating with this person or people, whatever, recently, I feel like there's a lot going off in dream time where you're communicating with them, or there's a lot that's just going off on those other psychic spaces that you might not be aware of. For example, when you start randomly thinking about them, it might be because they've been thinking about you, Or it might even be, I'm hearing for some of you, that your spirit team is encouraging you to keep thinking about this person, because it's something really important for what's going to be occurring for you in the near future, as well as in your future life, to do with this person. Now, just bearing in mind that the past, present and future lives, they don't necessarily have to be where you play the same role, where you play the same gender, but what it will be is it'll be playing out a similar sort of theme that's being worked with. And I'm showing that it's like a spiral, like you're going through events where in the past life it was heavier, and then in this life it gets loads lighter, and then in the following life it gets even lighter still, as you kind of like learning and growing together. It feels, I want to say as well, this doesn't feel heavy and karmic. Not to say that there won't be karmic interactions going off, but it doesn't have, I just really keep seeing this really nice turquoisey, bluey colour, and it really kind of feels very much like the sea, and it's got a very kind of flowy, kind of freeing kind of energy to it. It feels freeing and cleansing, and so it kind of feel, but it does also feel quite intangible. Like it's not necessarily, I think if you try and understand what's going on, or why you're feeling a certain way, or why you're thinking a certain way, I'm being shown that that's going to cause a huge amount of, and now I'm being shown like like grey fog starting to fill around your aura. If you start trying to understand this and process it in an intellectual, logical way, this is going to cause confusion and fog. And so I'm being shown that you need to be really, really mindful about that. But now let me just get a little bit more about what else is going off in your aura. Okay, so I am actually seeing your the gold star above your head, your soul star chakra, and the silver star below your feet, the earth star chakra. They're kind of really stabilizing this kind of blue stripe that's going from the back to the front of your body in a very specific way. And again, I'm being shown that if the earth star chakra holds information about the past, the soul star chakra, the gold star above your head, is showing you information about the future. And so I'm also really getting, there's this real thing about, it's really important to just not allow confusion to come into your mind or into your life in different areas as well. So if something else is going off which is a bit confusing, or if just something is causing you to not have routine, to not have clarity, I'm getting routine's really important right now. Routine's really important, because it's kind of like whatever is going on energetically in your aura to do with this kind of relationship dynamic that spans different lifetimes, because that's now getting organised and kind of structured like I described earlier. I don't know, it's just, it's encouraging other areas of your life right now to get into more structure, to get into more cohesion. So again, this type of interaction, whatever this is, it doesn't feel like karmic in a destructive way. It feels more destined in an enhancing way, because I get the feeling that this individual, or whatever this is to do with, and let's also say for some of you it might even be a different opportunity or friendship or whatever, it's actually helping to organise your energy and to become more coherent and to become more clear, and also to become a much better communicator, a communicator of what you want, of what you need, but also a better communicator in terms of understanding and hearing what somebody else truly wants and hearing what somebody else truly needs. And then I'm also getting with this kind of sea vibe that's going off everywhere. And then again, the sort of the integration of like those two in the higher chakras, as it were. That also, there's something very much about understanding timing with stuff. Understanding timing and knowing when to take action, and also knowing when to wait. And there's something really, really important about that. I'm also now seeing quite a lot of orange as well. And the orange is kind of like, it's not quite like it's spiraling, because that's very specific for an aura. I'm kind of seeing like an orange cloud, like sort of around, actually from kind of like your collarbone, all the way down to actually the earth star chakra, so that's below your feet. I'm seeing like this orange column of energy, and then when I tune into it more, I can see that it's got kind of a spirally feel to it. And again, it just brings in this sort of thing about play and laughter and fun. And you'll know if this is the sort of person that I'm talking about, because there's going to be something about them that either means they are playful and they laugh a lot and they're fun, or they make you more playful and laugh a lot and have fun. Again, there's something else about that kind of energy as well that's coming in. But there also is something that's kind of like, I'd say deeply, I want to say like sexually transformative about whatever is this dynamic. And also, again, if this isn't a relationship thing, when I say sexually transformative, then I mean there's something like highly creative, highly creative and almost like innovative and very kind of, I don't know what to say, like very, I don't quite mean like genius and maverick type of energy, but I don't know, it's kind of very daring. I think it's that. There's like a daringness to whatever this is that you might be coming into contact with in terms of creating something. So anyway, let me pull out some stones before I get too far in on all of that. Well, not stones, sorry, cards. We're going to go with tarot first. So let's see. Also, by the way, I'm being just called to say this. If some of you are ultimately thinking there's a number of different people in your life right now, which one is this? I'm hearing that at least one of these people is being deceptive, essentially. And others of these people are generally they're the more honest, open sort of type. So just be really mindful about that, because I feel like some of you as well, you might, I don't know, I just know that's really important. So there might be a number of different people that are sort of currently kind of playing on your mind a little bit to do with something. Just be mindful which ones are not really, are almost a mirage. What they're selling you, what they're saying to you isn't really the reality. And then bear in mind that there's other people there that are really kind of like, they are what they say they are. There's the authenticness, that's it. And with that blue colour all the way around you, I just know that whatever this relationship is or this dynamic is, it's authentic. It's like seriously authentic. And there'll be something where you maybe felt very familiar from the beginning. Although I'm also being told to tell you that it can feel very familiar when you're also coming into a seriously heavy karmic relationship. So obviously just use your own discernment there. But anyway, now let's just see what's going on. So, okay, I'm being shown it like this. So we've got like stairs. Okay, I'm hearing that we actually don't read reversals for you guys. So what's going off with your aura? And also, please, I just want to say, if again, you're thinking, oh, but there is nobody in my life like that at the moment. I really got, almost the first word I got when we started to tune into your aura was preparing. So I really do feel like you are preparing for somebody important to be coming into your life, somebody that you've had past life with, this life with, and you will have future life with. And again, all of those qualities of what I've just discussed, they'll all be relevant to this. So also I'd say if you're not currently can't think of anybody, and actually even if you can and it is relevant, it's something really important about communication. But this real open communication, but also really remember, it's not just talking, it's also full on listening. Because I feel like sometimes people in this pile might get themselves into a situation where things don't quite pan out how they want, purely because it's almost like it's a misunderstanding. There's been a misunderstanding, and that misunderstanding has just come through almost like a miscommunication, verbally and listening. There's something like that that's kind of going off, or that has gone off in the past. So yeah, that's just something to mind for, but let's just see what we get. So we start off your reading with the Ace of Swords. Wow, then we have the Hierophant. You see, I'm telling you, like, this is like, it is like a soul contract. You know, you've been in a life before, you're in this life, and you are going to be in another life as well. Okay, then we have Brother of Wind. So that is Knight of Wind, or Knight of Swords, sorry. So it's a very fast, energizing, youthful type of energy. Oh wow, then we have the beautiful Empress. I told you, this is, whatever this is nurturing. This is seriously nurturing. Yeah, really nurturing and really supportive. To be honest, that sort of reminds me a bit of the column of energy that I see. You see that blue there? That's kind of what I see, but the way I see it is like a line all the way at the front of your body in a line, and then also behind you all the way down the back. Oh wow, and then we have the moon. So basically what I did with this deck is I was told by my guys just to pull out all of the actual figures from stories and then just see what comes up. So here we have the moon, but this is obviously the Labyrinth, David Bowie. So just give me, and this reminds me about what I was saying, where if there is a couple of people in your mind right now, honestly, one of them, at least one of them, it's not what you think. It's definitely not what you think, and there is some deception going off there. But at the same point as well, there is somebody there who is truly, truly authentic. Yeah, but let me just feel into all of this. Just give me 1 second. I friggin' love the Labyrinth, by the way. Also to say this other thing, God, there's so many just slightly different variants, but if also, how would I say it, like, if you're with somebody currently and you get the feeling like something that maybe isn't what you thought, let's just put it lightly like that, it just isn't what you thought, ultimately this, I don't know, this isn't really it, then also do know that there is somebody else coming next who really is going to be like it, let's just say. But it's almost like then you'll be going through this process with whoever this person is right now. And I feel like if you are with somebody, it's a very physical, you literally are with them. And you're both agreeing to some kind of relationship. Then just also know that this relationship is really important for the preparation of you getting to the one that actually is going to be fulfilling all of your needs. And there's the one that I'm actually channeling into now, that's in a past life, a present life, and a future life. And is ultimately incredibly nurturing, and it is very, very supportive. And it's very kind of like a soul connection. And you will know this, deep down inside you will know this. I know that you will know this. When you meet them or when you saw them. And equally, if you're with somebody else right now that you know isn't that, I think deep down inside you'll also know that too. But you'd have to be very, very honest with yourself, because there's something about, again, so you know in the film The Labyrinth, there's quite a lot of thing about, there's a lot of confusion essentially, and there's thinking that somebody has something that you want and that you can't get it without going through this somebody. I'm getting that kind of vibe as well. And again, that doesn't feel like what this is ultimately. And if you're going through that situation, that dynamic is a preparation for this next thing that's going to be coming. But anyway, just give me one moment, because I'm getting really specific into relationship and I do feel like there's more that needs to be said. So just 1 second. Again, I just keep hearing things like clearing the way, like clearing out clutter, like releasing the last little bits. It does feel like I feel as well like that your aura is kind of showing with all of this orange, which sort of reminds me of the sacral chakra, which I always think of as more of a feminine chakra, and then also all of this blue, and I don't know why. I know the blue isn't actually reminding me of the throat chakra. It's just reminding me of the sea and water energy. There is this feeling of quite a lot of feminine type of energy, which then comes through with the Empress. But what I think it's is really showing is, and feel into which one you are with this. Your aura is really on a much deeper level than what we even talked about. So take away from the relationship dynamic and let's go even deeper. Is your aura is really kind of starting to really, if you are more of a feminine energy person, it's really allowing your feminine energy to start to really, really come out, and I'm hearing blossom. If you're more of a masculine energy person, then I'm hearing that your energy field is really starting to soften and open up to true feminine energy. And I feel like this is also part of this pathway. And then this would make sense why I was getting this whole kind of thing of like this person is very playful, or they make you laugh a lot, or you feel very playful and you laugh a lot with them, because there's this much more pleasure type of energy that comes through with this kind of dynamic, even within you. And feminine energy on the whole is a lot more, it does have more of this playful energy. It's more about pleasure, it's more about opening to receive joy, opening to receive pleasure, just being completely receptive to enjoyment, essentially. And so I do really feel like if you're more of a feminine energy person, this is what you're opening up to. You're opening up to be more of those things, which in turn means that you attract more of those things. Or you attract somebody that also wants to, sounds like full on, but I'm just saying how it is, that does want to truly pleasure you in like 1,001 different ways, like sexual and beyond. Do you know what I mean? They just want you to feel great in their company, and you're really opening up to that type of personal scenario or situation. Again, if this is more to do with a job and stuff like that, this is a job that will be appreciative of you, that will really really kind of cherish you and just think that you are amazing, and basically want to encourage you and support you, and that kind of thing. Feels like that type of energy. And then if you're more of a masculine energy person, again, I just feel like you're starting to open up to kind of like allow that kind of energy into you, because, and then that will also mean that you're more likely to start attracting people or situations that want you to kind of like almost take care of them, that want you, that will seriously appreciate when you give them pleasure in whatever way that might be. And I know obviously this can sound super sexual in multiple different ways, and for sure, yeah, it is on its like deepest level, because we've already said about that sexual type of energy, but it's also about how that sexual type of energy plays off in different areas of your life, you know what I mean? So the more masculine energy, I really do feel like you are going to be coming into contact with people or situations that basically love that you will, I don't know, think of them and then put them first and want to look after them, and they'll just think it's amazing. And this is the key bit though, it will be with healthy feminine types of energy and scenarios and situations that will respect you for doing that for them, that will appreciate you for doing that for them. They won't be taking advantage, or they won't not be acknowledging the amazing ways that you make them feel. Does that kind of make sense? It's kind of that situation that I'm kind of really, really feeling. Because again, just something from the labyrinth, I do feel like there's probably been, in the past, there's been a bit of a, I'm hearing emotional imbalance to do with, I want to say giving and receiving, but it's more than giving and receiving. It's, there's been an imbalance between appreciation and support, is what I'm getting. And I also do feel as well, like this imbalance as well, some people make all the right noises, right? Quite literally, but it doesn't really mean that that's truly how they're feeling. Do you know what I mean? They're just saying or doing or whatever to kind of like put on the show that they are appreciating whatever is being done, or that they are truly supporting, or whatever it might be. Because again, there's just this tiny, because with the moon card, there always is a bit of deception, right? And I do feel, again, this will tell you something about where to be investing your energy and time in. And I just feel anyway that sort of thing is getting flushed out, if I'm honest with you, because again, I just keep seeing all of that kind of blue energy back in front of you in your aura, and then also that spirally kind of like orange energy all the way around you. To be honest, it's just flushing all that inauthentic stuff out. So that means certain people or situations that I think they're going to start to like kind of, I feel like, just flick off. Do you know what I mean? They're just going to start flicking off or fading away. Because it's really not in alignment with whoever is this. You're preparing for this person to come into your life, or return into your life, or this situation to come into your life, or this situation to return into your life. But all I know is if it's returning, it's in this almost like much more healthy, refined way, where the dynamics that we've talked about here will be will kind of just be acknowledged, and it will be the theme of how stuff sort of plays itself out. And again, I just keep getting these words, but I can't quite work out how it falls in, but my guides are like, you've got to say it. There's this really important bit, probably one of the most important bits in the labyrinth in the film, is the bit where she turns around, I think it's Jennifer Connelly, turns around to David Bowie and is just like, you have no power over me. And as soon as she says that, I'm getting tingles now, as soon as she says that, the whole mirage that he's put up around her to make her think that, she doesn't have her own power is just completely shattered. And I think quite literally the crystal ball shatters as well. And that's obviously when Jennifer Connelly, her character, suddenly regains all of her power. And this is when everything just starts to kind of work in a great way, I'd say. And it's interesting as well, because in the beginning of the film, if I'm getting this right, the reason why she even gets into a situation with this character is because she almost like calls him in, because she's fed up of a situation, because she doesn't feel appreciated, because she's like fed up of her baby brother, all of this sort of stuff. So because she feels disgruntled in some way, or she doesn't feel happy, essentially because she was in a place of, let's call it, low vibration, and she actually then becomes a vibrational match to call in such a person in her life. And I feel like to some extent that's going to be relevant to you guys on some level, either in the past or sort of in the present, or it's maybe leaving you now in the present. I don't know, you feel into it, you're all slightly different places. And this is the thing, once she then goes through the process of this whole journey to get to the point when she realises, but she doesn't want essentially this sort of energy in her life, and this sort of energy does not control her, and she doesn't need it. Because I think in the beginning she feels like she needs this sort of person energy in her life. But actually, the more that she interacts with this person and their reality, the more she realises this is not for her, this is not what she wants. And just the real spell-breaking moment is when she realises, I don't need you, essentially. I thought I needed you at the beginning of the story to sort out my situation where I wasn't happy. But now by the end of the story, I realise I don't need you to help me, because essentially I can help myself, because I know what is healthy for me and what is not. And I'm prepared to take full responsibility for what I want, essentially. And I do feel like there's a lot of that that's kind of like coming through in your aura. And although that sounds like quite full on, please remember it's coming through with a lot of like, I don't know, there's something very close to you, or there's something very close to you, or it's very inherent within you to be playful, to be fun, to be lighthearted. And I just think it's kind of like the re-remembering of all of that. And it's the new beginning of all of that with the Ace of Swords. And I do feel like that energy will be coming in very, very quick as well, once you start to really let it happen and process with the Knight of Swords, because the Knight of Swords always moves really, really quick. So I think it's the understanding in some ways of what it is that you really do want in terms of soul contracts. And I'm actually going to leave it as broad as soul contracts, because that can be relationships, it can be other types of dynamics, it can be even how you interact with the reality, let's say. You know that there's new soul contracts that you want in your life now. And I think when you just really realise, no, you know what? I know what I want and I know what I don't want, and I'm truly going after what I want, and I'm taking full responsibility for what I do really want, and I'm putting all fears and inhibitions and resentments and whatever past traumas away from me, and I'm just going straight forward. You then activate literally this kind of gung-ho type of energy of the Knight of Wands, and I really feel like this person or this situation then comes in super, super quick. A bit like in the film when she suddenly says, you have no power over me, and then that's literally it, game over, boom, done. It really is going to be such a quick succession of events and feelings that unfold for you when you go through this pathway. And I can see that it's already activating heavily in your aura anyway, with the way that I'm seeing it function, and how it's spanning across different lifetimes as well, and how it's activating like almost like the really big chakras off body, the soul star chakra and the earth star chakra, which I always see basically almost like create like this Merkaba shape around you anyway, but more of a diamond shape with how they interact. So this is already really occurring. But anyway, now let me just pull a couple of oracle just to see what else wants to come out. Let's see. I do love this sort of thing, because honestly, like, I have no freaking idea what's going to come out of my mouth. And even when I start seeing these things or the images of everything, I think, I just got no idea until it comes out and me saying it. And I'm just wondering if in some way that bears relevance to you guys, and it's why I've said it, because there is something, like I say, about communication. I feel as well it's maybe about I don't know, maybe chatting to somebody about this, or even chatting to a specific person or whatever about whatever is coming up through this reading is going to actually help you process stuff as well, which will help you get where you want to go even quicker to do with this scenario that is literally so close to getting ignited into your life. But it's just, there's something or someone that I think potentially you've either still maybe like holding some kind of power over you in some way because you feel like you need them, even though I think if you're really, really honest with yourself, you know that you don't really need them. And I think one of the ways that you can recognise this is I think there'll be something quite heavy about them. They'll lack this really playful, joyful kind of sort of energy to them. And I think that's one way that you'll feel into it. And you maybe even feel like, I don't know, it might even slightly realise the passion isn't really, really there in some kind of way or other. But anyway, let's just see what we have now here. So we have Golden Memories. I love that card. Then we have, oh wow. It says here, all paths lead home, inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze inwards. Oh, no way, we have Unity. You know what, Pile 1 also had Unity, but it came out from a different deck. Then we have Fairy Magic. It's funny because Fairy Magic, there was like goblins and stuff. Not necessarily fairies, I don't think, but there was definitely goblins in the Labyrinth, the film. And oh nice, Nourish. So Nourish definitely goes with this Empress energy. And like I'm telling you, I know that sort of energy is on its way to you. And again, I do really feel like there's on some level, if you're either with somebody at the moment and it feels, and you're not feeling like this is the person that I'm describing, there'll be something about a lack of nurturing, a true nurturing. Like I feel like on some level, yes, something might make you feel quite anxious about that connection. And I want to tell you that whatever this is, it's got a lack of anxiousness to it ultimately. There might be some nerves to overcome because it's like, you have to really put yourself into a bit more of an unknown situation, and maybe it's quite unknown for you. So I'm not saying there won't be nerves, but there won't be that real kind of like anxious dread. It's very, very different. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's just something to be mindful of as well. Now just give me one quick second while I feel into all of this. Where your aura's at. Instantly, as soon as I saw this, all paths lead home and golden memories, this just really reminds me about the fact that whoever is this soul contract, so this person, let's say, or even a situation that's sort of on its way to you, I definitely think this is this golden memories. It feels like this past life stuff, and they might even be somebody from in your past in this life too. But I feel like when it says all paths lead home, I feel if you haven't met this person yet, it's just when you do meet them, you just really do realise that they feel like home to you. And if you have already met this person, I think one of the things that you'll really remember is that from the very beginning of your meeting, you probably felt so familiar and incredibly comfortable with that person. You just felt instantly like they feel like home to you. It's kind of that sort of energy. And I think that's another way to kind of identify who it is that I'm potentially talking about, or recognise them when they come in. It's got something where there really is that instant feeling of real kind of feeling of belonging. That's what it is. And that then puts in really nicely to the Unity card. There really is this kind of feeling of belonging that's coming. And again, I do really feel like this is what your aura is preparing you for as well. To really feel like you're belonging somewhere, to feel stable and safe, either in a relationship or in a certain situation with work or in a certain situation with money or health or whatever it might be. I feel like there's this feeling of feeling truly safe. And again, I'm getting that as well because it's coming from the fact that your aura is so linked into the most grounding chakra that you have, which is the Earth Star chakra, and then the Soul Star chakra above your head, which is almost like the North Node that's always guiding you to your highest point of potential. And the fact that they're so activated within your aura at the moment as well just tells me that there's this real kind of, again, preparation for someone or some situation to come in that generally is going to be, again, incredibly supportive to you, and you are going to be to them too. or, you know, if this situation, whatever this situation is, it's going to be incredibly supportive to you, and you will be very supportive to the situation. So it's almost like there's this really, really nice kind of like balance that's going to be there. And again, I do really feel like with fairy magic, again, it reminds me of this playful energy. Fairies sort of, to me, and magic as well, let's be honest, it has this playful vibe to it. But it also has quite a unlimited type of feeling to it. And it's kind of full of a bit of mystery as well. And so I do feel as well like I'm getting this message that don't let go of the need to have total control over whatever this situation or this person or whatever it might be. I'm hearing that it's really, really important, because control and power plays definitely comes in, and codependency massively comes into the labyrinth. They're themes that massively play out in the film The Labyrinth when you really look into it. And I really do feel that wherever this is that your energy field is preparing you for, it's not about any of those things. Like, it's not about codependency. It's more about like a healthy dance between two people, or a healthy dance between two situations. I feel like there's a lot of play and experimentation with it. So I feel like there's a lot of growth for whatever is this situation and person coming in. But again, it doesn't come through heaviness. It doesn't come through clashing, I'm hearing. It comes through more experimentation, I'm hearing, and play, and kind of curiosity as well, you know, kind of curiosity, because again, this is almost like this light-hearted energy, and it makes me think again of this swirling orange spiraling energy that I'm seeing around you. And so again, I suppose I think it's good for you to not know everything to do with whatever this is, you know, follow the mystery to some extent. And particularly when it comes to, I did get this big strong feeling with intuition with this card too. And obviously, because you've got all of that blue energy around you, I saw the blue as more like water energy, and water energy, emotions are so close to psychic energy. Like, I know one of the reasons I'm convinced why I'm so psychic is not just because I'm dyslexic, but I think it's because my emotions are such a wide spectrum, and they massively are a channel for me to get into the psychic space for whatever reason that is. So I really feel like a lot of this water energy that's around you to do with emotions, it's really also there to help you tap into your intuition and to gain more guidance from those subtle realms and subtle spaces, which, to be honest, also links into fairy magic. You know what I mean? And I do really feel like trust your hunches. If you're getting a hunch to go somewhere, do something, say something, contact someone, meditate, I don't know, whatever it might be. This flow is what I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to get out, there's this thing about flow, and to have flow, you've got to have a lack of control. And to also have flow, you've got to be able to just go with the, literally go with the flow, go with the mystery, go with not really necessarily really understanding. And you know how I said in the very beginning, watch out as well, because if you start overthinking to do with this dynamic or whatever this is that's going to be coming through, it's going to start to cause a lot of confusion, and that confusion is going to start blocking a lot of stuff up. So that's this thing about trusting and going with the flow. So I suppose in some ways, whether you're masculine or feminine energy, to a certain extent, you need to activate some of these feminine energy qualities, which is trusting your intuition, which is going with the flow, which is not always needing to know exactly why something is happening or why you feel like you should do something, but just going with it anyway because it feels like the way. So I'm really kind of getting that vibe that's coming in too as well. Just feel like there's something else I need to say about this. Just give me one quick second. I'm just going to pull one more card for that. Interestingly, I'm being called to call another one of these, so let's see what we get. So one more card just to say the last little bit about the Golden Memory card. What are we getting here? Let's see. Oh wow, that looks more like The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. I don't know if it is that film, but obviously Clint Eastwood one. I'm going to go with The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, a Western. Again, I think this is just reinforcing something about make sure your perception about the past is correct, is what I'm getting. what really was good, what really was bad, and what really was, let's say, ugly. I think it's really important to be really honest with yourself about the past, because I feel like for some of you, you might have put, you might have created memories that are negative about something that wasn't potentially negative. Equally, for some of you, you might have put positive memories onto something which was actually negative. I think there's just something about you, just have a little think about how you are almost like selling your past memories about someone or a certain relationship dynamic or whatever it might be, because I feel like currently the way that you're selling it to yourself is it's a bit confused. It's not quite correct as how it was. And like I say, that could be two ways. You're either perceiving something, remembering something as positive when actually it really, really wasn't, or you're remembering something as negative when also actually it really, really wasn't. And that's just something for you just to feel into. So to be honest, do have a little think and feel into everything that's being said, because when the moon card, like I say, is all about deception, and then literally in your aura, I'm seeing so much of this blue energy, water energy, emotional energy. And it's processing things very much about the past, present and future. And I guess that reminds me a bit of the Justice card in a way. I feel like potentially for you to, part of preparing for what is truly on its way to you is it's also about, I'm almost hearing like re-angling how you saw the past. And definitely because a lot of this feels very relationship based, it's very much like, it could even just be, have you got, on the whole, negative associations to do with relationships that maybe need to be reframed a little bit in your mind? Or it could even go as far back as childhood, as often happens. Are you having negative memories to do with your primary caregivers' relationships, or how your primary caregivers interacted with you when you were young? And maybe that needs to be slightly integrated in a slightly different way. Because again, whoever is this scenario, whatever is coming to you, the person, the situation, they are not going to be playing out childhood dynamics with you. They are not. They are not going to be playing out that sort of heavy thing. But part of what's going on right now, in whatever way you might be at, you're in the processing of that stuff so that it doesn't come into whatever is this thing coming up. The other thing that I'm also getting as well with that is just also you might have some happy memories of relationships or stuff when actually, if you're really honest with yourself, you might be slightly deceiving yourself about that. And again, that's kind of, I'm going to going to keep you a little bit, I don't want to say stuck, but it's going to keep distance between you and whatever is this great person or scenario coming or returning or situation, etc., etc. So definitely, I think there's something really important about that. And with it being just instantly below the Hierophant here too, I'm really getting this feeling of being called to say that just get clear on what negative imprints you've inherited from either your childhood or just your own sequence of relationship events that you've had. Because there's something about that just needs to get, I'm hearing, slightly purified as well in preparation for this person coming. Also, for a few of you, you might actually already have purified it, and I'm getting that with this. But you know what, you'll know if that's you. And also, if that is you, know that you're even closer to whoever is this person or this situation that's coming in. And I suppose just if that is you, also just carry on allowing everything to happen the way that it's happening. If you wanted to do anything, and I think all of you could do this anyway, if you wanted to help this processing of that your aura is going through, it would definitely be to do some guided meditations on stuff like the Soul Star Chakra and the Earth Star Chakra. I think that could be really useful. Just quick ones though, do you know what I mean? I don't feel like you have to spend loads of time doing it, but if you do have a meditative practice, definitely, like the moon reminds me that a meditative practice could be quite good right now. I think it could be good for you to do something like that if it calls you. But anyway, I think I will leave that at that. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe, share, comment, do all of those things, because I'm really trying to grow my channel now, and I really, really will try and create consistent content now. So I'm definitely totally trying to work on that. Also, if you'd like a private reading with me, you can just go to my channel, my website, which is abigailgracepsychic.com. I'll leave the links below. There I do Akashic Record readings, I do all sorts of astrology readings, and then we do lots of different card and psychic readings, like a love reading, money reading, and there's also a custom reading where you just basically tell me exactly what you want me to do it on. So please check out my website for that. And then at my other social medias, check out Abigail Grace Psychic on all the different channels, and I'll leave links below for the blog post that I've done on auras, because it just gives you a little bit more information about all of that. And then I also have another YouTube channel, See It Like a Psychic, which I will post more stuff on soon. Hopefully, I'm aiming for May, but I'll just see how it all goes. I'm totally going with the flow. So anyway, I hope to speak to you guys soon, and yeah, have a good one. Bye. So hey guys, this is for everybody that chose message number 3 for what your aura looks like right now, and what does this mean about your past, present and future. So near, past, present and future, let's say. I'm going to be honest, even before obviously channeling into this, I can just feel like your guys' auras right now is like, it feels like it's expanding. It feels like it's in a place of, it's starting to relax, it's starting to feel loads better, it's starting to feel like way more joyful, and as I see that I can see it and say it, is I see like loads of hummingbirds around you. Like, it just feels like you're starting to get this whole vibe. And in shamanism, the hummingbird is always seen as swinging, as what are they doing, like singing, and I can't even get my words out. It feels like this, they are drinking sweetly from the nectar of life. That's it, drinking sweetly from the nectar of life. And I feel like this is where your aura feels like it's going into. But now let me just give you all the colours and everything like that. Okay, so what is it? Okay, so I'm sort of seeing this interesting thing where really your aura is looking very similar in colours to what your own natural frequency colour set is. And I've done some videos on this before, like years and years ago, or like a couple of years ago, I don't know. So I'll leave sort of links for that below. But essentially your natural frequency colour set is a set of colours that never changes, and it represents almost like your highest potential energy. So one of the first things that I'm really aware about this aura is your aura is, it's all looking different, right? Because it's all looking like the similar sort of colours, which is your natural frequency colour set. But basically what this is telling me as well is, and this is why I think your aura looks so expansive and it feels so good, because it's got this feeling of like being comfortable with itself, comfortable with who you're becoming, but while still open to expanding and exploring beyond what you know, and also like in a joyful place of like self-growth, as it were. Because I know sometimes self-growth can be heavy, sometimes self-growth can be hard, but it feels like you guys are currently in a situation, or you're heading into a situation where that all becomes so much more lighter and joyful. And again, it's this thing about drinking sweetly from the nectar of life and joyfully. It's got this real thing about it. So the hummingbird feels really, really big. And now, okay, so I can't give you specific colours because like I say, it's all going to be different depending on your unique natural frequency colour set. So let me just give you something else. I can tell your aura right now is very big, and it's big and it's bold. It's almost like it's humming, essentially. It's like humming, and it's a really nice hum. It's a really consistent hum. It's kind of like reminds me of, I don't know, just like, you know what, maybe what is one of your favourite songs? It's got that kind of feel to it. Again, this all feels really personalised to each of you, and like each of your auras is so very different right now that I can't even pin it down with the same sound. But I think it's just because you're all in a place of becoming way more authentic and true to yourself and true to who you are. But essentially as well, this humming thing that I'm getting, I suppose that is a bit like a hummingbird, but it's almost like all of you is starting to vibrate at a similar frequency, which is why it's hitting off your natural frequency colour set. And in doing so, you're sending out like a really strong, consistent like frequency into life. And I feel like that is going to be attracting a lot of different people, situations, but also ideas and inspiration. I can feel like a lot of that is on its way to you or has already been starting to make its way through to you. And I do feel like there's lots of, I feel like there could be quite lots of interacting that can be going off despite whatever is going off currently right now. It just feels like... Okay, so at the time that I'm doing this video, remember this is timeless, but it's at the beginning of 2021, so obviously for a lot of countries things are quite locked down, but I kind of feel like you guys, because of where your aura's at or where your aura's heading into, you're actually going to be getting lots of opportunities that most people wouldn't necessarily think would happen during such a restricted time period. But again, this is because you're almost like defying the current reality by being so happy and content and authentic with who you are, and that therefore is creating this amazing change in your auric field, which is just really enhancing things and bringing things to you. It's really cool, basically. And if you guys can't feel this right now, this is something that is very close to coming into your life, or this is basically the potential of what is there for you, and this is really what your aura wants to be doing. And definitely this will be why your spirit guides have drawn you to this pile. So just remember that as well. Oh, sorry, just getting something in there and it's just freaking gone. Just 1 second. Oh yeah, that's it. Just a really specific message I'm really getting as well, for particularly for ones of you that don't necessarily think or feel like this is happening to you, or you feel like this. My spirit guides are like saying that your spirit guides are wanting to tell you, pay attention to what you're great at. Pay attention to what is amazing about you, that's special about you, from the tiny little things to the much bigger things. So like maybe you're somebody that makes people laugh a lot, or maybe you're somebody that makes people feel really accepted and safe. And just remember these amazing qualities that you've got, as well as maybe you're an amazing painter, maybe you're amazing at lifting weights, maybe you're amazing at like cooking, I don't know. But also what your spirit guides and stuff are saying is like, notice what is special about you and start paying attention to that more, because you'll naturally bring your aura into this space. But now let me just see, come on guides, there must be something where it's very similar for everybody and I can explain it in the aura. Okay, got it. Cool. So this is one really cool thing. One thing, and I don't really totally understand this chakra, by the way, so let's just see if we channel anything out of it. But also one of the things that I'm really getting is one thing you all have in common is all of you are starting to have a more coherent connection with the rest of your chakras to your 12th chakra. And the 12th chakra is something that I've often seen as, it's a different shape, size and colour for everybody. Again, it's very, very unique, but it really taps you into the greatest parts of your being and soul and the cosmos. And I feel like it's all, again, it's a very, very unique expression, but I'm being shown that your auric field is currently like almost connecting into that 12th chakra. And again, that's why it's encouraging it. That 12th chakra is encouraging your aura and you to become more authentic and true to you by doing the things that just make you feel this joyful, like sweetness about life, that sort of energy. So that's one thing that's really active in all of you. Also, just one other thing to say that, where would I see that in the aura? Just give me 1 minute. And let me say it first and then my guides will tell me how you can visualize it. But I'm also really getting the words here that essentially you guys have gone through I feel like you've gone through quite a big karmic cycle of something. Basically, you've completed quite a big karmic cycle in the not too distant past, or you're very soon to, depending on where you are in this spectrum with this group. And that's partly as well what's doing this real like amazing, like almost like, I don't know, enhancement of your aura, of your natural frequency colour set, of the connection into your 12th chakra, because you've kind of like let go of a lot of heavy baggage in some way, or you're very much in the process of doing it and you're so very close to completing it. And therefore it's just giving this whole new massive space for this new energy to come in, and also this energy that's way more in attune and in alignment to you. So that's really friggin' cool. Let me just see, what else can I get here? Oh, this is quite interesting. What I can also see for all of you as well is the sort of the part of your aura in all of you is really quite active at the moment in the part like round your hands and round your feet. And they're saying that this sort of links into your 11th chakras, which are in the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet. But more than that, it's really just like you're in a really great place of almost like giving and receiving. I'm getting that kind of feel. So this feels like there's quite a lot of flow, but it feels like, again, it feels kind of sort of in some ways you're being acknowledged for who you are. So what you're doing is being equally well received in some way. And what you're receiving, you're equally appreciative of. So there's this really kind of nice kind of unguarded, your aura's got very open and it's very unguarded, and therefore it's able to see things as they are, but also not take things personally. And again, this feels like it's something to do with like you've got a really healthy exchange of how you're interacting with people and things and situations at the moment. And when to interact, when to wait, when to share, when to just hold back, when to receive, and when to just say no, not at the moment. I don't know, there's some kind of, I can just see your aura has kind of got a really healthy, clear pump between what's coming into you and into your life and what's being released from you out into life. I kind of got that kind of thing. And actually I am being shown that the sort of how it would look as a colour-wise around your feet, I'm seeing it as like quite a gold type of energy on all of you. And then around your hands, I'm seeing it all as more kind of like opal coloured. So like how opals are like white, but they've got the speckles of all those rainbows. I'm seeing that kind of colour around the palms of your hands. So yeah, cool. Now, before I get stuck on the channeling, as always, let's go straight into your cards and see what else is going down. So, like I say, I do feel like for a small percentage of you, sort of maybe, actually I'm hearing about 20% of you, you might not be resonating with what I'm saying with like this good place and this, that and the other, but I'm hearing that the reason why your intuition and your guides and higher self pulled you to this pile was because it was really important for you to recognise how close this is to you in some way. And I guess some of the things we've been saying are sort of like suggestions and tips of how to be in that place and stay in that place. So that might be why some of you are drawn to this pile. I've never really been told I needed to say anything like that before, so I don't know. Anyway, just take it as it resonates or not. But now let's see. So it feels something really creative about this pile. Very doing things differently. I even feel like I'm kind of shuffling a little bit different from normal. So I think it's about your aura is really close to you're always in a place of really wanting to take new action and stuff, and I'm being shown as well that that's something to do with the gold around your feet and the silver around your hands, because it's kind of like in a process of changing how you interact with life and how you let life interact with you, how you interact with people and how you let people interact with you, all of that kind of thing. This is really interesting. I'm being shown like making almost like a W. This is a lot of cards, but fair enough. Let's go with it. None of the other cards is as many cards as this. Oh wow, we're being shown to do it like that. Okay. And then this one apparently goes on top of here. So let's have a look. Don't read any of them reversed apparently. So the first one we have is the Four of Earth and this deck Power. I instantly think this is as well about you're so close to unlocking and opening up, not unlocking, that's it, opening up a new part of your life. So then we have the Ten of Water, which is the Ten of Cups, and it says Foundation of Love. Again, this feels very much about opening up a new area of your life that is really going to be bringing way more joy and happiness and love into your life, 100%. Okay, and then we have Temperance, balance, so it also feels like it's going to be bringing in a lot more balance. Again, I think this is because your aura for most of you is in such a great place and it's in such an open, expansive place, and it's very, very true to you. So therefore it's naturally almost like a gateway. It's a gateway for calling in great situations and people to you. So we have the, this is the Queen of Swords. I actually love the Queen of Swords in this type of way. You know, with this figure of 8, this reminds me of like the alchemy of this thing about the gold around your feet, the silver around your hands, about you interacting with life, giving and receiving very differently in life because of the fact that you've cleared a lot of some heavy karma, but also the fact that you're in like a really good open place to do with you and who you are. Because this, I always think of like the Queen of Swords can be really a bit quite a harsh energy, but I love her in this deck because it's so much, it's got this such a dancing type of energy and vibe to it, which I completely and utterly love. And it's interesting, message number 2 had this thing about flow. They had a lot of water. You guys actually, I do feel it is way more of a dance than a flow, because it feels like it is very much a co-creation, you doing something and then life responding to you, and then this, that and the other. So I do want to say that I feel like your manifesting abilities currently with where your aura is at, or where your aura is about to go to, are going to be in a really, really strong place. And I would say capitalize on it, because it's not like, you know what I mean, life is a whole mixture of highs and lows, ups and downs, etc., etc. Right now you are in, or you're very close to coming into, a really good situation, or place within yourself. Sorry, it's a place within yourself. So make sure that you take best advantage of this right now. Don't sit on your laurels right now as things start to get easier and more flow comes into your life. Actually use this because it's a really powerful moment for you guys coming up. So just really, I'm getting that really strongly. Okay, so then we have the Way of the Cross. I think message number 1 also had this. Okay. Oh wow, then we have Karma. I love this Karma card, by the way. I think it is absolutely stunning. And it really does remind me of the complexities of karma, how it spans multiple lifetimes, multi-dimensional lives, different souls interconnecting with also different lives, etc., etc. Anyway, these 2 cards straight together, they're just really confirming everything I was saying anyway, about I can really feel from your aura that it does really feel like you have, you've gone through some kind of like big, heavy karmic cycle, karmic clearing in some way. And this has created a huge amount of space for, like I say, an opening up of just way, way, way more love, balance, happiness, harmony, the ability to create, the ability to manifest. Because you know what it's like sometimes, but I also feel like you're in quite a good place to do with manifesting as well. I feel like this pile understands that just because you're in a good place doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be able to manifest your dreams, or just because you're in a good place it doesn't mean that everything's going to be great. Equally, I think this pile sort of understands just because you're in a bad place it doesn't mean that you won't manifest anything good. I think you understand there's almost like a mystery to things, and again this feels like this dancing part of you. I feel like the dancing sort of vibe, dancing sort of feel within you understands what you do in the here and now isn't as straightforward as what you reap and what you sow, because of many of the dynamics coming in. Now forget the word karma, because karma can seem heavy, but just because there's multiple different lifetimes and you are multidimensional, and the people you're interacting with are also like that, and there's a thing about divine timing as well, and I kind of feel like you guys are in really quite a healthy place to do with that. And again, that's why it's such a good place for you to get on with really manifesting whatever you would like to, because I feel like you're in a really good, you've got a really good potential to really focus on what you want to manifest, while also being completely in a place of, I don't want to say non-attachment, but like you've got very open expectations is what I'm hearing. You've got total open expectations, and you are not putting any of your either personal identity, or whether you're doing well or whether you're good or bad, or you're just not putting any personal dogma onto what happens next. And that just feels like a really powerful place to be. And again, I'm just getting that it's because essentially your aura is, or will soon be, in this just really great place of a natural frequency to you. So when you're in that place of natural frequency, you don't need anything essentially, because you already have everything that you want within how you feel. And even if you don't have what you want, you can sense it's all going great and you will get it, or even better. So there just is no struggle. There's no internal conflict is what I'm kind of hearing. Oh, wow. Freaking powerful. So then on top of each other, we have Six of which is it? Yeah, Six of Wands, which is obviously known as the success and victory card in tarot. And then also for this one, we have Scarface, the Emperor. Okay, so for me, this again is this place of, by the way, I think this is such a friggin' cool card. It's so interesting. If different cards had come out here, I would be reading this card very, very differently. But because of the cards that are coming out here, this is the total way that I'm just being called to read this card. So this is this thing. I'm getting really strongly, whatever it is you do really want to manifest or you would like to create or whatever, I just think it's a really great time to be focusing on that. But with all of the insights and awarenesses that you have developed within yourself over this time period, which means that you understand almost like the dance of life. You get the dance of life. And I want to say these words, like, you're in a place of, you're no longer a needy child to do with manifesting. And I hope that doesn't sound a bit too, like, shitty, but it feels, that's just what I'm getting told to say, like, you're not in a place of, like, neediness, childhood neediness. Like, if I do good, I get good. If I do bad, I get bad. Like, you've gone past that kind of dogma. And you're understanding, like, this greater understanding of flow. And actually, you've never said that. We've switched around, unconsciously, I've switched around the places of where I put these cards. And I think that's the thing. You get this kind of, I think you're happy to go with the mystery of how things are in life. And because of that, it's just such a frigging powerful time for you to really, really be manifesting. And again, like, you know, when I see in your aura, so I see your aura basically reflecting the colours of your natural frequency colour set. That's a golden moment. I see like your 12th chakra really connected into your aura. That's an amazing opportunity. I see the gold and silver around your feet for giving and receiving and moving forward and interacting with life in different ways. That's a golden opportunity. And obviously with I do want to say this though, like with Scarface, I can't totally remember the film. I do know I really liked it. But I do think as well, just be mindful to, and I don't think it will be a problem, be tempered, be kind of balanced in what you're doing. Because it's kind of like, I don't know, I'm really just getting that image of, you know, the bit where he basically just snorts a whole load of cocaine, so much so it's like all over his face. Like he lets the, I want to say, and I can't remember the film, but the words that I'm getting told to say is this, is like, he lets almost like the pressure of the situation that's coming, the amount of energy that's heading his way, almost like get on top of him and kind of like basically derail him and unbalance him. And that's almost like part of the downfall of it. So I think it's just like a little reminder as well to keep the balance with all of this. And the way that I think is important to keep the balance is this whole kind of thing of like, you understand, I feel like there's this thing where you're starting to really understand timings and rhythm in life. And timings of rhythm, again, just reminds me of kind of like a dancer. So obviously to be a really good dancer, you've got to get timing and rhythm. And to be a great dancer, you anticipate timing and rhythm. I guess it's like all great sportsmen or whatever it is, like, or sports people or sports women or sports kids, whatever it might be, or sports pets, I don't know. It's just really about like you can anticipate. And I feel like the anticipation as well of knowing when to act, knowing when to hold back, of maybe even knowing when too much energy is present and you don't want to get blown out by it. So just hold back a minute, refocus on something else. Like, I don't know, I get this kind of really good kind of balanced ebb and flow of understanding just literally the rhythm of stuff. Because I think the cool thing for you guys would be to maintain your aura in this place of your natural frequency for as long as you can without unbalancing your life in some way, without kind of going to a place of excess, let's say. Yeah, I can really feel that. But again, I was shown to do this almost like in a circle. And with the Emperor and the success card in the centre, I do really feel a bit like I'm seeing the image of, and this is a bizarre image, but I'm seeing the image of some birds like circling a certain area. And I think they know that their prey's there, so they're just waiting for the right moment to go in. Now, I know that sounds a little bit hardcore, but I think it's really just showing the thing about like, just you're in a good place, you got where you need to be, you're at just the right moment. Now wait for the right timing to do or say or whatever it might be. And also for some of you, it might even be a case of just stay in that space, just stay observing. So you need to feel which one is right for you. But maybe we'll get that a bit more by the oracle. So I'm just going to pull out some oracle cards now. I just so love that card though. I think it's so cool. I love all the imagery and stuff and the colours. I do want to say as well, even though that seems very masculine, we do also have quite a few feminine type of cards around, I think, with the Ten of Water and still like a Queen here. But then also I think we have some quite equally balanced cards with the Temperance and the Karma. So I really do feel like this could be anything for you guys. It could be talking about relationship. It could be talking about something like job, work, money, highest potential, health, anything really. Because I think it could be either or, because I see equal cards. And actually for some of you, you might find that it's kind of both things at the same time. I'm getting that quite strongly actually from this pile. You might find that there's both things at the same time that are wanting to evolve for you, just because you are really getting into this much better place. So you might find that some of you actually might be a bit more of the personality type of all or nothing. You have that kind of pattern that often plays out in your life. Yeah. Ooh, that is too many. Oh, no, let's go with it. No, let's have it as 2. And then just one more here. Yeah, I do feel there's a lot of energy going off in your aura, like I did even say anyway, because there's so many cards on here too. But let's just see what we have. So we start here with Eternal Flame. So that makes me think about passion. I do think of Scarface energy as a very passionate, strong-willed type of energy as well. Wow, the base chakra. It's funny as well, because just talking about Scarface and this one here, I was thinking of how that reminded me of the root chakra with his red top there. And the Emperor, I definitely think, is somebody that really understands her root chakra big time, because they understand how to create their own stability and how to maintain stability. And that kind of reminds me of this card here as well, with the Four of Earth, with power. So I think as well, again, it's about maintaining your own stability, your own power as well, while also being able to use your own stability and your own power to create more in your life, and even to potentially create more opportunities for others in whatever way that may, or encourage others, or I don't know, whatever it might be, because it's different. I do feel it's quite different for all of you in this pile. Okay, then we have here, it says, Star Family, you're part of a team of souls, call in support. So again, that just tells me as well, this really could be relationship too. But I do, like I say, I can see many, many different things. And actually for a lot of you here, I do get this very strong feeling it could be both sort of things coming in. So like equal type of things from a feminine energy perspective of kind of like relationship, nurturing, support, as well as kind of the masculine energy thing about maybe money, protection, career, that sort of thing. I feel like both things could be coming in. Feels like there's just like a really good moment coming up, to be fair, for you guys. Okay, oh wow. Okay, and then we have the Insight card. And we also have Divine Masculine. I'll say something about that in a minute. Oh wow, frequency shift. I mean, yeah, this is definitely what I was saying about how I feel this has been going off for you guys anyway. Like you've released some heavy karma, which is just basically then opening up sort of new opportunities for you. God, it feels like there's loads of cards out. I think it is really interesting. I think this is quite a masculine vibe, the root chakra, obviously the Emperor, and obviously then we've got Divine Masculine. So despite the fact that I do still think there's feminine energy balancing off, I just feel like it's just something about you really taking decisive action one way or another to do with whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest and create in your life. So if that is a relationship, I think it's about you really looking at the manifesting of that in whatever way you might do. Maybe you're a bit more of a feminine energy manifester, so you might be doing it more on an energetic level, and meditations, visualizations, that type of thing. Maybe you're a bit more of a masculine energy manifester currently, so it'd be more about like actually going online, or it'd be out actually communicating with somebody or reaching out or whatever it might be. I don't know, because it's different for all of you. I also think as well, if you're trying to manifest something like a job or life purpose or health or whatever it might be, same sort of thing. Like maybe it might even be a balance of doing both things. Maybe it's about you doing a bit of a more of a feminine energy manifesting of like the guided meditations, the kind of the inner work, you know, all of that sort of thing. But at the same time doing more of the masculine thing by taking different actions, by making different choices. I kind of feel like actually that's probably the greater message that's coming in, to actually activate both your masculine and feminine energy manifesting tools and abilities. I think that's really, really important. And I do really think it's one of these things, it's really important to do an equal amount actually, because if you just sit in a space of just doing all of the kind of more feminine energy manifesting of visualizing, meditations, shadow work, whatever it might be, I think that's great. But to fully utilize what's coming up in your aura and all of this potential energy that's really there and coming in for you, I definitely think it's also about like taking different actions, making different choices. But I think it's also about seeing the interlinks of different things, like how different things play in together. So for example, what's just coming into me now is, say if this is some sort of relationship dynamic, let's say, or you want a relationship, you might do the feminine energy thing of visualizing it, maybe releasing a few limiting beliefs, whatever that might be, etc. But then when it comes to the masculine thing, you might just take very decisive action that would make you feel great about being in a relationship. So for example, it might be something about looking after your body. Maybe you would do more exercise, or you would eat more healthy. You don't necessarily have to think that just because you need to activate your masculine energy to do with relationships, that you also need to be, let's say, going on online dating or asking some person out or whatever. It might be something that is indirectly but directly related to you being a vibrational match for what you want in a relationship, i.e. you feeling great in your body, and therefore you taking actions that make you feel great in your body is, and again, a very kind of more, it is still a yang expression of manifesting a relationship. But it's just, I suppose you've got to think a bit more laterally with some of this stuff, I guess. And again, that might be something that you would want to think about if you're trying to manifest job, career, money, etc. Remember to do an equal balance of manifesting from a feminine energy as well as manifesting from a masculine energy, and also understand that it can be abstractly connected or holistically connected. So again, you might do something, if you're trying to manifest something to do with, I don't know, a new job or whatever, you might visualize the new job and write down what you want the new job to be like. But then when it takes to taking actual action, you might do something like, I don't know, you might do something like go on an online course to do with how to interview better, or have some kind of one-on-one coaching to do with, again, interview techniques. It could be anything, right? Remember, I'm just trying to say to you that it doesn't always have to be seemingly like 101, what's the next best action that I take to do with manifesting what I want in a very physical way, because it's all of these other types of ways that you can be taking very specific physical action that will get you in better alignment, so that when you've done the feminine energy manifesting of the more visualizing, etc., you're aligning faster and quicker and more coherently with what it is that you want. And also I'm hearing that it will be a lot more of an organic manifesting if you do it in that process. So yeah, definitely have a little bit of a think about that. And I'm also hearing that there's some more insights coming for you to do with what I've just said to do with that. You might hear about it, you might read about it, somebody might say something. Just be open, because the universe wants to tell you more about that. But obviously I'm just doing a bit more of a, well, hopefully not too long reading. But yeah, I definitely think being open is important. I just want to just say that as well. Being open is really, really important. And obviously I got this thing about open here as well. Rather than unlocking something, it's just about being open to something. And again, I do really feel like with this heart card and this root chakra card together, I do really feel like it's about being open, about feeling safe when you're opening up in whatever way that might be. And it will be really different for all of you. Because I think as well, I don't know why this is coming in, and I really can't remember this film, so I hope it makes sense. But when he's snorting all of that cocaine, obviously this situation is just about to occur. I think it might even be a bit of a shootout or something. I'm not sure, but something's about to occur, which ultimately he feels super scared about. And then essentially he takes all of this cocaine as almost like an unconscious way to just kind of create confidence and like bravado in essentially a very full-on intense situation. And so I do just think it's just really, I think the more softer message that's relevant to everything else we've channeled and relevant to what's going off with your aura right now is just continue building the confidence from within. Don't rush stuff, just continue building the confidence from within, because everything is going to literally happen in this kind of like divine timing, perfect timing type of way. And I really, really can see this on so many cards, to be honest. So you don't need to rush anything. You don't need to force anything. You just need to carry on what you're doing. Maybe be a little bit more proactive in the manifesting, whatever way that might be. But yeah, this is also about following your hunches and your intuition. I think that's also something else that's coming through as important. And I definitely think it is this thing about knowing as well. I'm just getting this thing about, and I don't know if it's relevant to Scarface, but I'm just being called to say it as I pick up this card, but just knowing who and what to invest in, knowing who and what to connect into, knowing who and what to share with. I just get this is really, really important. Because to really build stability, long-term stability that allows you to stay open long-term, there's something about being smart and honest with yourself about what and who you can be connecting in with now, which will be a long-term, healthy, happy investment. Because remember, when you suddenly start to get amazing energy coming into your own life, there can be many people and many situations that occur, and it's down to you to have the discernment about which ones to go with and which ones to not go with. Because I'm getting this feeling, and again, I don't really know Scarface, I might have to watch it again, is that definitely in the gangster realm, it's so, so important to understand what is a good investment in any business, right? What is a good investment and what is not a good investment? Because you can have loads of money, but if you invest it poorly, that is going to quickly take you into a shit place to do with money. And equally, you know, with your energy field right now being in such an amazing place, or it's coming to an amazing place, think of it as like you got a lot of positive energy. You've got a lot of money, let's say. So you've got all this positive energy. Where are you going to invest your positive energy? Like having lots of money, where are you going to invest all of that money? Or having lots of power, how are you going to invest that power? Who are you going to choose to collaborate with? Who are you going to realise is going to be an energy drainer or a zap, or it won't be a good opportunity or whatever? Because I do think as well there's something about being mindful and a little bit savvy. Because every gangster, I do feel, has to almost be more savvy than the average person, because essentially the situations they're going to be putting themselves into is a lot higher risk. And also there's different sort of codes of conduct, I think, that go off in that kind of gangster space. So again, there's this need to be very, very savvy and streetwise. And I do also think that's something that you guys just want to consider with keeping and maintaining your energy in a great space. Because sometimes this can be quite transient as well if you're not mindful about how to make sure that you can keep having almost like a compound interest effect on the good energy and the good situation that you're in. Think about that. It's about building like long-term, like I want to just say compound interest with your energy field and aura to keep it in this space as long as that you can. Cool. So I'm going to leave it with that. I really, really enjoyed reading for you. That was awesome. I think I'm totally going to check out Scarface. I've not seen that in ages. I think it's got Michelle Pfeiffer in it when she was younger as well, something like that. And then I'll probably watch it and be like, oh my God, why did I say what I said? That didn't make sense. But anyway, who knows? Whatever I said needed to come out. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed that video. I would love it if you could like, subscribe, share, comment, do whatever in all of those positive ways to do with my readings, because I really want to try and grow my channel now. I'm actually really trying to also create like a compound interest effect with my channel by just basically investing in it more. So hopefully I will have videos out every, I think, Sunday and Tuesday, and then hopefully in the end every Sunday, Tuesday and Thursday. So yeah, that'd be great if you could support me with all of that. Then also, if you'd like a personal reading from me, you can find it on my website on abigailgracepsychic.com. I do lots of different personal readings. I do Akashic Record Readings. I also do all sorts of astrology readings. And I also do different sorts of tarot and psychic readings, like love readings, money readings, and also a custom reading, when you basically just say what it is that you want. You can do past lives, future lives, mediumship, stuff to do with your pets. I mean, whatever really, because it's all the same sort of energy space and the energy way that I have to get into stuff to read it. So we can do all of that. Also, if you go to my Instagram, Facebook, etc., other social medias, I'm always Abigail Grace Psychic. And I'll leave the link for the blog on the auras, just so you get a bit more information about your aura and how it functions if you're interested in that. And then also I have my other YouTube channel, See It Like a Psychic, which hopefully come May, I'm going to start doing way more videos on there as well. Yeah, so hopefully that's how all of that goes. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and you know what, totally just invest in this amazing energy that you've got going on or that's starting to come to you, and recognize that if you don't feel like you have that, it's either so close to you or this is a real potential for you if you just start focusing on it a little bit more. So yeah, loved reading for you. Speak to you guys soon. Bye.